Mae Govannen, my Elven brothers and sisters, and welcome to a new installment of Elven Parables. This one is a beautiful little story called The Parable of the Raft. It's an old Buddhist tale about a monk that had grown so much on this side of the river, and he needed to go to the other side where there was a whole new phase of life for him. And he had a quandary, he had a problem. He didn't have any way to get across, so he figured it out and he built himself a raft. And he sailed across, rowed across, and got to the other side. And then he had a bit of a quandary. Do I keep this raft that was so helpful to me, or do I let it go and then move on unencumbered through the rest of my life? So that's what that story is about, and you'll notice again, it sounds like letting go of attachments, letting go. I've talked about that type of issue before in other videos, and but those were letting go of traumas, past memories, inhibitions, hatred, negative feelings, and negative experiences. And very valuable for let those go so that we can figure out and see our true nature. Well, this one is also about letting go, but it's actually about letting go of issues or tools that were of great value to us, but maybe we don't need them anymore, and all they're doing is stopping us and encumbering us from moving forward. If you'll remember from a previous video that I did, I talked about the finger pointing to the moon. It's an old Zen analogy where the moon is the truth, and the finger represents doctrine, religion, science, sutras, dharma, whatever you want to call it, the conceptual knowledge. And that knowledge had value. It was meant to point us in the right direction to the moon, which would represent truth, but so many people get stuck on the finger. They keep looking at the finger. They get stuck with the doctrine and the lessons and don't realize that the lessons aren't the truth. The moon is the truth, and they need to let go and look forward. Well, that's what this one is about also. It's about letting go of all the doctrine and religion and science and astrology and metaphysics and physics and so forth and science, any conceptual thoughts. That doesn't mean that those were bad. They all had great value and they got us to where we're at today. But there will come a time, in order to see your true nature, to realize enlightenment, you will have to move on and you will have to let go. All right, so enlightenment, we talked about it before. Enlightenment simply translates into realizing your true nature. It doesn't mean you change. You've always been who you are. It's like comparing the sun. During the day, the sun is always out. But sometimes we don't see it because it's clouded over. And only when those clouds are gone do we actually see the sun. And it's the same with us. Only when we let go of these attachments and turn within do we actually see ourselves, our true nature. And for us, our true nature is our elven self, our elven nature, our elven soul and spirit. And that's what we are working on remembering. You always were enlightened. You always are an elf. You just don't always realize it, and you haven't found that yet. And the only way to get there is to look within and to calm the mind and quiet it. Let go of these outside distractions. You'll find yourself eventually. Also, I'd like to give a big shout out to a couple of companies who have been very, very supportive of our YouTube channel. First is to Spirit Science, wonderful YouTube channel. I'll put a link in the description. They are the ones that are donating so many of the graphics and animations for our YouTube channel. Please go support them. They have a lot of different videos that harken back to a lot of the ancient Zen and Buddhist tales with a lot of good messages in them. So thank you again to Spirit Science. We hope to continue to work with you more in the future. Also a big shout out to Mark and the crew at Heroes and Mortals. They're a radio station out of Portland, Oregon. They have donated for our use this new camera and mic system. That's why you're seeing a new format here. We appreciate it. We're looking at collaborating together to produce what is most likely going to be, if we do this, the first Elven radio show in the United States. We're looking at doing a radio show just on Elven culture and history, spirituality, enlightenment and such. So we're looking forward to seeing how that develops. So again, thank you to both of you for the support you've given to our channel. So go ahead and stay tuned and listen, if you would, and watch the next video attached to this one on the parables of the raft. I hope you enjoy it. It's a great message. And all of you have a most blessed rest of the day and evening. Namaste.
The Parable of the Raft. Monks, I will teach you the parable of the raft, for getting across, not for retaining. It is like a man who, going on a journey, sees a great stretch of water, the near bank with dangers and fears, the farther bank secure and without fears. But there is neither a boat for crossing over, nor a bridge across. It occurs to him that to cross over from the perils of this bank to the security of the farther bank, he should fashion a raft out of sticks and branches, and depending on the raft, cross over to safety. When he has done this, it occurs to him that the raft has been very useful, and he wonders if he ought to take it with him on his head or shoulders. What do you think, monks? That the man is doing what should be done to the raft? What should that man do, monks? When he has crossed over to the beyond, he must leave that raft and proceed on his journey. Monks, a man doing this would be doing what should be done to the raft. In this way, I have taught you Dharma, like the parable of the raft, for getting across, not for retaining. You, monks, by understanding the parable of the raft, must not cling to right states of mind and, all the more, to wrong states of mind.